A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. This weekend, the United Kingdom has witnessed a series of intense protests and counter-protests regarding the housing of asylum seekers in local hotels. Demonstrations under the banner of Abolish Asylum System have taken place in cities and towns across England, Scotland, and Wales, including Bristol, Exeter, Tamworth, Cannock, Nuneaton, Liverpool, Wakefield, Newcastle upon Tyne, Horley, Canary Wharf, Aberdeen, Perth, and Mold. The protests have sparked significant clashes between rival groups, leading to a heavy police presence to maintain order. In Bristol, tensions escalated as mounted police were deployed to separate the opposing factions gathered in Castle Park. Protesters clashed with police, who were authorized to enforce a dispersal zone aimed at preventing harassment and maintaining public order. This zone will remain in effect until early Sunday morning, reflecting the seriousness of the situation. The anti-immigration protesters, many draped in St. George and Union flags, gathered in Horley, where they clashed with around 50 counter-protesters from the Stand Up to Racism group. The latter group chanted slogans advocating for the acceptance of refugees, such as "Say it loud, say it clear, refugees are welcome here," while the opposing group responded with derogatory remarks, demonstrating the deep divisions in public opinion regarding immigration policy. The protests come at a time of heightened scrutiny over the government's use of hotels to accommodate asylum seekers. Recently, a High Court ruling allowed Epping Forest District Council to remove asylum seekers from the Bell Hotel in Epping, Essex, following public outcry after an asylum seeker was charged with attempting to kiss a 14-year-old girl. This incident has fueled the fire of protests, with residents across various towns rallying against the presence of asylum seekers in their communities. In Newcastle, more than 100 demonstrators gathered outside the New Bridge Hotel, where approximately 800 male asylum seekers are being housed. They chanted slogans such as "Stop the boats," "Get them out," "Send them back." This highlights a growing sentiment among certain groups who feel that the influx of asylum seekers poses a threat to local communities. On the other hand, those in support of asylum seekers, including individuals like Arya, an 18-year-old refugee from Iran, have expressed their fears and frustrations. Arya, who fled torture and persecution, stated, "I would not be here if I did not have to be." This poignant reminder of the human stories behind the headlines underscores the complexity of the issue. In Horley, a protester was heard yelling at counter-protesters, further illustrating the confrontational atmosphere. Lines of police struggled to maintain a separation between the two groups, as chants of "No hate, no fear, refugees are welcome here" clashed with aggressive responses from the anti-immigration side. The situation has prompted local councils to consider legal action regarding the housing of asylum seekers in their areas, reflecting a growing trend of opposition to government policies. As protests continue to unfold across the nation, the divide between those advocating for asylum seekers and those calling for stricter immigration controls appears to be widening. The protests this weekend are not isolated incidents, but part of a larger narrative surrounding immigration in the UK. As the government seeks to appeal against the High Court ruling regarding the Bell Hotel, the public discourse around asylum seekers is becoming increasingly polarized. The events of this weekend serve as a stark reminder of the challenges faced by both asylum seekers and the communities in which they are housed. As the situation develops, it remains to be seen how the government will respond to these protests and what implications they may have for future immigration policy. With tensions running high and emotions flaring, the debate over asylum seekers in the UK is far from over. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.